Hello? Wackadoodle. It is 11:34 a.m. Can you believe I am let me just tell you about my day in just a second. What is going on? I am getting ready to go pick up, where did my sunglasses go? Tanya. I asked her, oh, here they are. I asked her if she wanted to go and get a cup of coffee at Starbucks. So let me check with her. You guys are getting so much Tanya. Are you so excited? Oh, my camera battery is dead. Oh my gosh. It's so hot in here. Call ended. Why did it do that?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Ben.
Where are you at?
I'm on my way home. I got a pee so bad I can't stand it. Don't help me, so.
Do you want to go get a cup of coffee at Starbucks?
Yes, but I want to go look. I have to go to this flower place first. Can we go there?
Yeah, where is it at?
Well, it's right on Hague. It only sells to businesses, and I want to see if it'll sell me flowers to business, as a business.
Okay. Well, I will, I'm gonna leave here, and I will be there in about 10 minutes, okay?
Okie dokie.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
So, I am going to pick up Tanya. We're gonna go have Starbucks. I guess we're gonna go to this. It's so hot in here. It is 83 degrees. I know people don't like it when I drive with the air conditioning on because it's hard to hear, but I apologize. So we're gonna go do that. I'm having coffee with, well, not coffee. I'm going to a coffee shop. I'll probably have water or something since I don't need that much coffee. I honestly, people think I drink so much caffeine. I mean, I guess, well, I'm right now drinking one of my blood orange Diet Cokes because I really just wanted to try it. So anyway, but I really just have one cup of coffee when I get up, and during the day I go through Starbucks, and then after that I might have a fountain pop later at night, but very rarely. I haven't been drinking a lot of fountain pop lately. I've been drinking mostly when we go to the gas station I get water. So I came home last night and Alex and I sat down. Well, he was sitting down anyway. He was watching Superman. Come on, stupid thing. I don't know which one it was. It's the one where he's in high school. Alex has watched all of the comic book movies, I think they're Marvel, in the last week. He's watched them all. And so he was watching, I don't know which Spider-Man movie that is, but it's the one where he is in high school and it goes to Washington Monument and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I sat there and watched it with him. And when it was over, Alex was like, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'd already got my vlog done for the day, and so I was like, okay, well, I will go lay down with you, and I said, I think I'm gonna lay down for an hour and then get up and do, or listen to my audiobook. And he was like, okay, and, but I set my alarm for in the morning. Did I set my other alarm? No, I set my alarm for in the morning on my phone for 11:30, and I was like, I'll just get up, If I sleep straight through, I sleep straight through. Took my medicine, gave PB his medicine, everything was good for the day. Well, Alex was getting ready to leave for work this morning, and he was like, hey, your car's in the driveway, can you move your car? And I was like, oh my God. So I got up, I slept straight through. So we went to bed last night at about 11, and I got up this morning at 9. So I got 10 hours of sleep, woke up, took the dogs out, did all that kind of stuff, filmed my videos for the day. It is absolutely, look at the sky outside, you guys. This is Indiana summer for you right here. It is absolutely beautiful outside today. And you guys want to see a little weird situation? This house, it's where the blue mailbox is, but it's on the right, is where Herb Baumeister grew up. Somebody taught me this. Okay, here it is. Here's the blue mailbox. Do you see the blue mailbox right here? So this house, you can't see it from the road right now. But that's where her Baumeister, the serial killer, grew up. Isn't that so weird that he grew up so close to me? Anyway, and I'm having coffee, well, going to a coffee shop with a friend of mine at 2 o'clock. I'm so excited. It's like a beautiful day. I had so much fun making my videos this morning. And now I'm like, oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh, shoot. I need to go back home really quick. I started uploading my video, but I forgot to start rendering my Peter-isms video. Did I start rendering it, or did I not render it? I don't remember. Well, I'll go home and do that part. I'm like, I took that ginkgo biloba stuff to help me remember things, but I just don't remember things at all very well. So I was gonna do a live stream last night and I didn't do it, so I'm gonna do a live stream tonight, definitely. And yeah. But I feel so rested. I got such a good night's sleep. A lot of people are always like, whenever, you know, like, don't you love getting up early in the morning and getting stuff done? I really do. Like, because I love just having my whole day just to enjoy myself. But the problem is that I love staying up at night too. Like, I'm totally like a night owl. I love being up late at night. I love listening to audiobooks late at night. And, you know, Lori didn't end up wanting to go to the casino last night, so I didn't go. I'm not gonna go if I'm just gonna go there by myself. I mean, I go to see her, or my friend Valerie, who I actually haven't heard from in a couple of days. I need to probably text her and see what's going on. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I love being up late at night, don't get me wrong, I do, but to get up every once in a while early and have the whole day to get stuff done, it's really, really nice too. Especially when I don't have a lot of stuff to do, because I can get all of my stuff done in the morning that I want to get done, and then I just have the rest of the day to kind of like drive around, drink coffee, all that kind of stuff. So, you know it, you know it, you know you better show it. Ooh, ooh, Dr. Detroit. I need to get my oil changed, but I sure don't feel like doing that today. Although it takes like 15 minutes, so I probably should just go get that done today. Well, when I'm done with Tanya, if I have time, I'll go do that. I wish my camera was charged. I would just vlog all during the day. I guess I'll just keep on filming until it dies, and it's like, oh, your camera's dead. But then it's like, if it goes all the way dead, it takes me like a really long time to, charge it. The lawn people are mowing the lawn today. It looks nice. It's pretty outside. All right, you guys, I will be back a little bit later. We're back again. Look who I have with them. Look at all these ads Tanya said. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, it's beautiful out.
We're rolling through the Starbucks. Tanya is buying today.
He always buys mine, so I'll treat him.
I don't think that's true that I always buy yours. Is that true?
Oh yeah, you never make me pay for my coffee. You're the only person in my life that actually buys my shit.
Aww.
Like anything I want, he's like, I got you.
Well, you're such a giver. I feel bad. Like, you always give to so many people, but like, I feel like people don't give to you in return.
Yeah, you do.
But don't you think that's kind of true with you?
Yeah, but I think I've allowed that, and yeah.
I mean, I think there's givers and there's takers.
Right, I'm definitely a giver.
And I think that a lot of times givers get taken a lot, and takers...
We attract takers.
Yeah. I think I'm honestly, though, like, a little bit of both.
Oh, you're definitely 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like, oh yeah, I just give and give and give. I mean, that's just bullshit. I just don't. But
Well,
thank you.
You have boundaries, though. And I think I lack boundaries with, and that's a whole nother ball game.
Tanya did not like my Zesty Blood Orange Diet Coke.
Because it was warm. I think I would have liked it on ice.
And the last time we went through Starbucks, I did get it because I got you the pink drink. That was so good. They are so refreshing. Oh, but I will tell you, somebody commented on my video and said Tanya doesn't like caffeine. They have caffeine in them.
They do? No wonder I didn't sleep for 3 days.
Oh, shut up.
I wanted those strawberries so bad.
Tanya and I like never hang out during the day.
Yeah, we're night owls.
Yeah, and so like this is so nice today. We're gonna go and hang out. We're gonna go look at plants, and then we're gonna hang out on her front porch. I actually just filmed calling you where you said you had to pee so bad.
I did.
Don't you hate that when you're in a store and you're like, I have to go to the bathroom so bad, but like I don't want to go in the store? I can tell you where the bathrooms are in every store.
Me too. I've always been that way though. Even when I was little.
Oh,
some bitch. Little shower.
It is so funny. I ended my conversation last night on my vlog talking all about...
Did you vlog on the way home?
I did, and I was talking a lot about recovery. I was talking kind of about, don't say names or the program, but I was talking about like what we talked about in our meeting last night about like having a spiritual foundation and then what did you do this morning?
I prayed.
It's weird though, you get like kind of out of it, you know, like you really do like that, having that conscious contact with a higher power.
Or I think life goes, I'm so blessed, life goes good and you forget, hey, my life's going good because I was so down at one time.
Tanya is so big on, if we talk about this for a second, just make sure you don't say, because I try to not violate the traditions of the program, but...
What's that guy scanning up there?
His
special
phone. Alex does that too. It's like the phone app. I used to have it, I don't anymore. But Tanya is really like big on like newcomers when they come in, explaining to them that even though we say the word God, like it's a non-denominational God, it can be any understanding of any kind of higher power, the wind, the trees, whatever, because for a lot of us, when we come in and get sober, the word God has this historical, it has like a meaning to us because of like what we've grown up with. So a lot of people are so turned away from 12-step programs because they're like, God.
It's religion. And not
it's religion, and it's not.
It's not man-made religion. You don't get your religion there. You get your spirituality. And then, you know, if you choose to do religion, you get it outside, and that's great. It works both ways.
It was such a great meeting last night, I thought.
It was like old times.
It was like old times.
Honesty.
Open-mindedness. Willingness. I can't believe, like, it's funny because a lot of our friends now are like in the 20-year plus. We had a friend of ours last night that got his 20-year token. And it's so cool to see that. Especially when it's people like, I mean, you saw them come in, right? You saw them get sober. So like when you see somebody come in and then they get like a year, 5 years, and their whole life has changed. It's so awesome.
They mend their relationships with their families. That's the awesome thing. Because we don't feel like a piece of crap anymore. We got so many options.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really good. 1660.
Oh, it's good to hear.
Thank you.
How are you guys?
We're great.
Good. Hopefully better after you get some coffee.
That's right.
Yeah, he's wanting his coffee.
It's so pretty out today, isn't it?
Yes. We have a pop at 2:30.
Oh, that's good.
3:30.
So you get to enjoy the rest of the day.
Thanks,
Want to
man.
put down your coffee for you?
Okay. Do you want my change? Do you use the parking meter anymore?
No. Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's clear.
Can you put your arm just for a second? Oh my God. No, because I park and I walk because it saves me money. And it was interesting, and Tanya and I were on the way to the meeting last night. She was like, did you and your mom talk a lot about recovery? How did you ask it? You were like...
I don't know. It just popped in my head.
Tanya was there at the end when my mom was really sick. We went over one night, do you remember? And we all laid on her bed and talked and stuff. That was before she went in the hospital the last time. It was like kind of a fun night, actually.
Rub lotion on her feet.
We got laughing so hard about something. I can't remember what. Thank you so much. Look at that.
Tanya got the whip, but
so
that's all right.
Oh, to me,
No. That's fine.
I can't anyway because the car behind me was so quick to get their coffee. That
Oh, you know, they got to get the coffee at the Starbucks.
But she was asking me last night, she was like, did you and your mom, I love that people come to Starbucks and they work. I
Cheers.
cannot work there. Cheers.
Me neither. I'm too nosy.
Salud. She was like, did you and your mom used to, me too, I'm already like looking.
I'm like looking.
She's like, did you and your mom talk a lot about sobriety? I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I mean, that's the one thing I really miss about my mom. This is the car I want right here. You guys want to see the car I want? Now, Tanya just got a Jeep.
We rented one of those to keep.
I want this car so bad. Look at that car. Oh my God, that is gorgeous. Now, what kind of Jeep is that, Tanya?
You look good in that. Just a 4-door.
I don't know what it is. It's
Sahara.
gorgeous. But anyway, there we are. Hey.
I never knew there was a boutique there.
Yeah, you can go back this way. Oh, let's go back this little way and look at these little stores back over here. But anyway, I was saying that was like one of the things I really... Tony was going to buy a store back here, and it was going to have tanning beds.
And toning beds.
And she was going to have, and like, weight equipment. And it was like a cycle. What was that old place you used to go to back in the day?
No, I was going to have like toning beds, you know, because I don't like the exercise where you just lay on the bed and they're supposed to
Do you remember that
tone
thing?
you.
You'd put around your waist and you just sit there.
Oh, my dad did that.
But she was going to call it Tanya's Tone and Tan.
They didn't want to give me parking. Isn't that crazy?
But she was saying something about like your mom, and I said, remember I looked at that office?
Mm-hmm.
I looked at that office because I totally forgot about that. Now it's a chiropractic
And a massage therapy.
Or was it that one?
Well, one guy owns all these. I don't know what they're doing in there. That's my place. But they weren't going to allow me parking.
But Tanya said something about like, oh, did you and your mom talk a lot about recovery? I was like, yeah, like 80% of our conversations were, but it was like how we talk about it. Like, Tanya and I will talk about, like, let's say if we're talking about a friend. Like, what's a made-up example that we can think of?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, did you hear about so-and-so and, like, their divorce or something? And then we'll be like, oh, it's so sad, and, like, you know. But, like, you know, when I've gone through this breakup, like, this was my part in it. And then Tanya will say, like, yeah, like, you know, when I was going through this was my part in it. And, like, we'll talk about, like, a man. So it's always like we're talking kind of through the language of recovery. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. I raised my kid on the language of recovery.
Like, that's how my mom and I were, too.
Mm-hmm.
So even if we were talking about movies, we were talking about, like, spiritual things that we took from movies. I miss that, so.
Yep. My friend Liz, she sent me this thing on the Florida Project. Have you seen it yet?
I have no idea what that
It's
is.
supposed to be awesome.
What is it?
I don't know. It's supposed to be good.
All right, well, we will, I will be back later, and I will say goodbye.
Have a good one.
Hello. I'm just sitting in my office, and I was going through mail, and I'm getting ready to leave. It's all junk mail. I don't need any of it. My bag is packed over there. Oh, look. I've got some Gain. I love it. And I'm charging my phone, and then here are all, see, I have this TV that has a VCR thing in it, old school. And these are all of my videos that I have. The Spitfire Grill, Hanky Panky, Choo Choo and the Philly Flash, Marie. Hanky Panky is with Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner. If you've never seen it, it's fantastic. Quick Change, Hard Rain, 9 to 5, The Wiz, Wild Things, which is like one of the most fantastic movies in the world. The Storm, Fletch, Thelma and Louise, Night of the Comet, oh my god, I love that movie. The Breakfast Club, Desperately Seeking Susan, Blame It on Rio, Romancing the Stone, Legal Eagles, Body Heat, Ocean's 11, Lucky and Chances by Jackie Collins, which I've never watched because I've like watched like the first 10 minutes of it, but now I want to save it until I do the readathon, the group read on the book club, because we're going to read those for the book club. David Lynch's Wild at Heart, which is one of my favorite all-time movies. Into the Night, which is my all-time favorite movie. The Moonlighting, Pilot, and Adventures in Babysitting. So, those are, here's a little picture. I think it's Barbados is what it says on here, but Barbados. Blue Sea of Barbados. Makes me think I could go to the island. So, here's my office. Oh, let's just act like we're coming in the door. Oh, hello, how are you? It's good to see you. Come on in. Now, I've done this office tour before, but there are a lot of new people that watch my vlogs that haven't seen my office, so. And, you know, honestly, I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep it. I don't really use it that much, so. Right now, it's cost effective, and I can come here and write, and it's kind of nice to get out of my house. But I don't know that I'm going to keep it up forever, so here's my little entryway when you come in. Dun dun dun. Meow. And then here's my door. Look at that. Is that not so cute? Oh, well, okay. There are ceiling tiles. I will show you why they're there in just a second. These magazines, let me just tell you. I haven't ordered a magazine since I was in practice. And these magazines are so old. I can't even find a date on this. Let's see. W magazine. Where is the date on these? October 2011. That is how old these magazines are. God. And so anyway, and here's my, this is like just like a utility purpose room. I used to write in there and look out the window, but I don't do that anymore. And then here's just, this is where I saw clients back in the day, but I don't anymore. So I kind of just hang out here sometimes and like do research. Now look at the ceiling, okay? So bad. Look at that. Oh my God. And this is where it leaked. And it leaked all over the chair, all over the floor, all up and down that door. And he said he's going to come in here and like clean the door and do all this kind of stuff. So he's going to replace the ceiling tiles. So yeah, and then this is just, I have little Funko Pops. I love Funko Pops so much. Those are like the horror movie Funko Pops. I actually think somebody sent me this one and that one. And that is the guy from 16 Candles. Hockey puck. Canadian hockey puck. Okay, so, and then here's just kind of like my little area. And then here is, it's actually 3 o'clock. My clock I've never reset. It's an hour late. Okay. That's my mom. Hi, Mom. And then one of the candles, bookstore candle that somebody sent me. And then you and me, that's me and Tanya, best of friends it says. And my stepmom did that painting. And then there's my bathroom back there. And this place is kind of falling apart, honestly. And then my mom and I used to collect these. And they're called Storytime pictures by this artist. I will always remember the day the sun shone dark on your hair, someone's calling me. And I forgot where we were and kissed you lightly on the nose. And suddenly, there was no more secret. I read once that the ancient Egyptians had 50 words for sand, and the Eskimos had 100 words for snow. I wish I had 1,000 words for love, but all that comes to mind is the way you move against me while you sleep, and there are no words for that. I love that, so. Yep, there's my office. I love the French doors in this office. Oh. Bum, bum, bum. My degree, Indiana University School of Social Work, Masters of Social Work. May 9th, 1999. Okay, so that's my life. Who is calling me? I guess maybe I didn't hear anybody calling me. Hello? I thought somebody called me. Nope, nobody called. I can hear the restaurants downstairs, which is hilarious to me. And if you're very quiet, you can hear it, like they play the music really, really loud. So I wrote for about an hour and a half. Here's my little notebook that has all of my memoir ideas in it that I organize. And yeah, I'm just kind of, I think, gonna go relax the rest of the day. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna upload my Peterisms video because it was rendering when I left. And that's about it. I ran home before coming in here, and I took the dogs outside. And I don't know if it's the weather change or what is it, or what is it? What is it? But all 3 of our dogs are having horrible diarrhea. It's not the food because we've fed them consistently the same thing for the last couple days. But, or the last 2 weeks, we've fed them consistently the same thing. Longer than that. But all 3 of them are having horrible diarrhea. Tucker had massive diarrhea outside and it was all stuck in his fur. So I had to take him downstairs and I had to, like, poor thing, I had to, like, put him in the little tub thing that we have in the basement and wash his butt off and clean it up for him. And then he was so excited and he felt so clean that he ran around the house with his little wet butt. And then I gave them all treats, and then I Came in here and wrote. It's kind of dead around my office today, which is interesting. It's Wednesday. Things start really picking up here in Indianapolis, like right now, because it is, hold on, I'm just gonna stack y'all on some books. You're now on books and Post-it notes. But since it's race day week, like things start really picking up about right now. Like people start flying in. These are like big nights to go out. There's like big nights, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night leading up to the race. But most people don't go out and do anything on Saturday night because like the race is so early. It starts like at 8 o'clock on Sunday, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. The thing is, if you're driving there, you have to leave your house at like 6 to get there in time because the traffic is so incredibly bad. And it's hard to find parking. Parking's like 10 blocks away and it costs like $20 and stuff like that. So that's why I don't do the race, and because it's just a drunken mess and I don't need to be part of that. The other thing is that, what was I going to say? There are after parties too. I might go to some of the after parties if Alex is going to do that. I don't know. We'll have to just see. It kind of depends on what my mood is like that day. He didn't go to any last year. The year before he did. No, the last 2 years he took his brother, Fufu, who now lives in San Diego. He's going with like a friend of ours that are couples, Sam and Kizzy. He's going with them this year. But 3 years ago, I went to some of the after parties. It's called like I don't know. They're called like what would you call like the finish line? The finish line is like a big party that they have here, like thrown by like somebody huge. I can't remember, some magazine. And but it's like there's so many celebrities here this weekend, and it's really a fun weekend to live in Indianapolis, even if you don't like the race, because there's so much going on. And like everywhere you go, you see kind of like big deal people. It's kind of fun. So, you know, I love that. I love seeing celebrities. I am like that super fan though. I'm like, oh my God, there's so-and-so. You know what I mean? I think Jay Leno always comes for the race. Like I've seen him twice at like, one time I saw him at Fridays downtown and it was during race day weekend. That was like 20 years ago. And another time I saw him, this was like not too long ago. So I think he's like a lot of celebrities are huge race car, fans. So they come for this, but it's a huge deal. It's a huge race. And there's so many international race car drivers that are here in town. And it's interesting because, okay, this is kind of funny, but a lot of them train here and live here in Indianapolis, these race car drivers. Here, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. So like how like other cities have like a lot of the women like go for like football players and like basketball players and stuff like that. Well, here, a lot of the girls want to marry race car drivers. Like, that's their dream. Like, that they want to marry a race car driver. My battery has been so completely dead since I left, and it is still, like, with a line through it, a yellow line. I'm like, I don't know how it is still going, but whatever. So it's hilarious to me because, like, a lot of these girls are, like, really, really into, like, they'll be like, oh my God, I want to meet a race car driver. And so, like, let me just tell you, they're dressed to the nines this weekend. So it takes a lot of money. I didn't know this for a long time, but like racing is a really expensive sport. Like a lot of racers really come from wealthy families because you kind of have to have a lot of money to start in that sport. I didn't know that because I'm not into race car driving. So anyway, well, I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to go home and let the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? Who? And, you're sitting on my meditation books right now. Do you guys want to read a meditation for the day? Okay. Should we read Forgiveness and Moving On, The Soul's Companion, Time for Joy, Seek Sobriety, Find Serenity? Well, let me look through them. What is today, the 23rd? May 23rd. I'll pick one out. Oh, here's one. Letting Go of Perfectionism. Oh, that's a good one. Why don't we read that one? The meditation books that I read now, I read them at home. These I typically don't read. Oh, I'm waiting. Okay. Letting Go of Perfectionism, May 23rd. It's the 23rd, right? Not the 20th. It's the 23rd. Today I will not demand that my life be perfect in order for me to love it Camera, don't shut off in mid-meditation. We all need our spirituality today. Today I will not demand that my life be perfect in order for me to love it, nor will I demand that all my relationships be perfect for me to value and respect them. If I try to make my life and relationships perfect, I will be completely engaged in a neurotic battle with my transitory illusion of perfection. There is no such thing as an ideal, and to insist that life be ideal is to miss the forest for the trees. I will not condemn myself to the constant feeling that I have drawn the short straw, because perfection is in the eye of the beholder. It is subjective. I will not ask, I'm like looking at see if it's off. Oh my God, now the yellow light is on saying it's too hot. I will not ask the moment to be more than the moment. I will not be conditional in my love. I see perfection in things as they are. And the quote for the day is, a good garden may have some weeds. I love that. Because, I think so many of us, like, we set our expectations so high. And I've talked about this a lot in my vlogs. It's like, the lower you set your expectations, the higher you're pleased in life. And, I think that, like, acceptance is important, and it's, like, kind of accepting things exactly how they are. The one line I really, really like is, I will not ask the moment to be more than the moment. I will not be conditional in my love. I will not ask the moment to be more than the moment. Oh, God, I love that, It's just like, okay, so, like, when we talk about living in the moment, it's like, this moment is exactly how it's supposed to be, And I do think it's the bitter and the sweet. So it's like the good things, the bad things, all of it, is like maybe that moment's exactly how it's supposed to be. Here's one on friendship. Yesterday. Today I make choices about my company and friends. Whom I choose to spend time with is very important to me, and the relationships that I begin, I wish to respect and nurture. A handful of dear friends is far more meaningful to me than lots of acquaintances. I choose to share myself where I feel a return. That is so true. I want both to have a friend and to be a friend. One of the unusual gifts of growing up in a dysfunctional household was that I learned the value of friendship because I had to turn to my friends to meet very deep needs. It's so true. I'm grateful for what I learned and felt from and with my friends. I value friendship, and the quote for today is a Spanish proverb: "A friend to everybody and to nobody is the same thing." It's interesting because I'm really a believer that we have two families, family of origin and family of choice. And like, Tanya is definitely like a family member of mine. I feel her friendship is so deep, like on a family level, And I think a lot of times that we feel that we should have these close ties with people that are in our families where we just really don't. Like, we have no connection, we have no common bond, but yet our friendships, some of them are stronger than that, and we have to go. We feel like, I think sometimes that we have this necessity to kind of, this feels like a Peterisms video, that we sometimes feel like we have to, this is why I don't film in here anymore. We sometimes feel like we have to like explain, well, she's not really my sister, she's my best friend, but she feels like a sister. We feel like we have to explain that to somebody instead of just being like, yeah, she's my best friend. Like, she means more to me than some of my family members, and that's just the case, And isn't that sad? But like, that we should feel like it's sad that we should feel like we have to explain that. Why should we explain it, People come into our lives for different reasons, and I love the saying that people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I'd like to think that the friends that I have now are lifetime friends, but I don't know. I've known Tanya for 21 plus years, and that's, half of my life. It's crazy. And, I have other friends of mine that I've had since I was 20. I have friends of mine since I was high school. I don't talk to them very often, but they're still friends of mine. But Tanya is like one of my best friends. Melissa, my other friend, I've known for, I think, 7 years now. So like, in 7 years we've been really tight, and I know I can depend on her. And I think that's really what a friendship is all about. It should be reciprocal. It's like what Tanya and I were talking about, givers and takers, and what are you? And I think that's why in life, you have to allow people to do stuff for you. So it's important to be a taker at times, but not a taker all the time. You have to give in return. And I think that relationships, especially friendships, should be reciprocal. So, well, all right, you guys, listen, I'm going to get out of here, and this vlog is either going to be really, really long, or I need to stop filming. This is why I can't film throughout the day, because then you guys are like, we like you driving around at night talking. So I will be back a little bit later. Bye.
Hello. So I'm back. And it is 11:26, and I just got off my live stream about a half an hour ago, and Alex went out to dinner. Well, he went over to his friend's brother's house because his friend's sister is visiting from Miami, and they're all Venezuelan, and by the time I knew about it, they were already like sitting down at dinner, and it's like a half an hour away, so I didn't go. And then he came home like halfway through my live stream, and then we finalized our birthday trip, and which we have decided to not say anything about until we leave. and to kind of keep it a little bit of a fun surprise and like show where we're going when we leave. We changed up a lot about it. So, and let's see what else. I got Jimmy John's today. I got a vegetarian there, and I only could eat like half of it. It felt so processed. It tasted so processed to me that I didn't love it. This car is like going like a mile an hour. My God, they just like raced right through that light. So yeah. And then I lay down and I took a nap with the dogs because I haven't taken a nap like in the middle kind of the day. So my dinner was like really early. It was at like 4. And then I took a nap with the dogs, and it was so nice. I took a nap right after that. And it was such a relaxing day. Like, to be honest, like I'm really happy that I got up early today. That was just part of the reason why I'm filming the end of this vlog like early, so that I can go and upload it, and then I'm either going to listen to my audiobook or I'm going to just go to bed early and get up early tomorrow morning again and have another early day because it was nice. So we'll just have to see. I'm not super tired because I took the nap. And I really want to listen to my audiobook because I'm so into the book I'll Be Gone in the Dark. I think it's so great. But the problem is that I'm trying to like pace it out because I wanted to finish it like on Saturday night so that going into the live stream on Sunday, because the live stream on Sunday is going to be for the book, I wanted to go into it with like remembering just what I read like the night before. I don't want to start some other book in between. And if I finish it, I'll be tempted to start another book. Because I always just like, as soon as I end an audiobook, like as soon as I finish it, I start another one. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm really liking it a lot. It's very, very creepy to me. And there was actually something that she was talking about today that reminded me of something like in my personal life. I'm at the part 2 where she's like talking to the social worker that like does the crime conspiracy threads. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And there's something that she says in there, and I was like, oh my God, that's like me, totally. Like almost like kind of spooked me a little bit. Not something that I do, but something that had happened to me. I can't remember what it is now. I'll tell you, one of the things that's interesting is reading the book is like that. Like he would call and hang up on people a lot. And it's interesting, like today, like having cell phones, like most people don't have landlines. It's a completely different world. Like some of the things that, oh, I know what it was. I don't even know that I want to say it on here, honestly. I'm kind of scared. But when they say that they notice like things that are moved outside around the house, like we have so like our condo association has like a construction maintenance crew that are constantly doing things in the summer. But when I came home today, like, so we have like a front porch swing glider thing, and it was moved. Like I sat down on it and I was like, this has been moved. This isn't where it used to be. And I was like, and it was very creepy to me because I was like, I mean, I could tell it had been moved. And I was like, oh my God, this is so creepy. So, and then I said something to Alex about it. He was like, yeah, I was like cleaning underneath it, sweeping, I moved it. I was like, I don't want to say stuff though, because then people will come and be moving shit around our house. We don't even have that kind of stuff around our house. We do need to sit down though and order patio furniture, like pronto. Because finally now we have a patio that we can like enjoy, and we haven't even gotten patio furniture yet. I can't find it anywhere. It's like everywhere in Indianapolis is sold out. So Alex really wanted to do this couch from Restoration Hardware. That was a good deal. This doesn't look super comfortable to me. I don't know. And every one of our friends is like, don't spend a lot of money on
patio furniture because the cushions like get wet and dewy every morning. And I don't know if that's a problem where you guys live, but like in Indiana, like when you wake up in the morning, the grass is in the summer, the grass is always wet from like the morning dew and stuff. And they're like, the cushions get wet. If you have cloth cushions, they're not fun to have in the summer until they like warm up and get dry throughout the day. And then because of that, like if you have like, because we want to get like blue cushions, they're like, if you have blue cushions that are cloth, then they like change color over the summer. So you don't want like darker cushions, you want lighter cushions, but we don't want white because they show like white or like beige because they show like every bit of dirt on them. I'm like, let's just buy something that's not too expensive that we can enjoy for the summer. Like we've already missed May and we could have had it out there had we just bought something, you know? So I don't know. We'll probably sit down and do that. And I quite frankly think it would just be easier to order it online and have it delivered anyway, because then we don't have to worry about it. And half these places that you order it from, that you can just do it free shipping and handling, a lot of them. So it's like you just go in someplace and buy it anyway, which I think is fantastic. It is 66 degrees outside. And it feels a little, no, I wouldn't say cool, but there's a little bit of a breeze outside. I brought out all my books that I want to finish by June 1st, which are basically all of the books that I have been reading for like the last 3 months, because I just seem to like can't move forward. And I read a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and like all of them, like I showed them in my live stream tonight, and people are like, you've been reading those books forever. And I'm like, I know, like I need to finish them. And The Husband's Secret by Liam Moriarty, and then which I like, and I started it in Miami in March, and I still haven't finished it yet. And then that graphic novel Sex Criminals, which is really funny. I'm like halfway done with that, three-fourths of the way done with that. And then this middle grade book called The Day the Earth Rolled Back or something, I'm like 40 pages away from being done with. I could literally sit down in a half an hour and finish that book. And then Orange, the manga, and then The Invention of Hugo Cabret, and then Witch's Sister by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. Those are the books I want to finish by June 1st. So I go into summer like with a complete clean reading slate. So those are my goals of what I want to get done here in the next week and a half. And it's totally realistic if I would just sit down. I need to do like a little, I was thinking about it this weekend, like doing a little kind of like 2-day readathon to myself where I like catch up on all of the things that I need to like catch up on to read, if that makes sense. Just bust it out, you know, get rid of all of those things that I've been drinking so much water lately. I mean, I drink a lot of water anyway, but like I've been drinking a lot of water lately. And I really like this thing. I think I got it at Kohl's, and it was like $10. It was like $9.99 Rocky Mountain tumbler. I'm sure it's some knockoff brand, but like it keeps water cold forever. Like I keep a big like plastic container thing of it. Like Alex has his filtered pure water in the fridge, and then I have like this big like quart handheld thing that I keep it in because I don't care if my water's purified really. And I mean, it's straight out of the tap. And then I just fill this up and I like drink it as I'm like walking around the house or running errands or whatever if I don't have like my coffee. And it's so nice. And it saves me a lot of money from buying bottled water. I bought this the other night, like 2 nights ago, I think. Well, whenever I went and got a fountain cook with, was that last night that I bought this with Tanya? And I haven't even finished it yet. Waste not, want not. But see, it's warm. But I always keep like a bottle of water in here like this in case I need to take like a leave or my throat is dry and I don't have water with me or something like that. I cannot believe that schools are getting out this summer, or getting out this week. It's like, I was talking to a friend of mine that's a teacher that's in recovery, and I was like, when's your last day? And he was like, a week from Friday. I was like, you guys have to go back after Memorial Day? He's like, yeah, we have a full week after Memorial Day. I was like, he said a week from Friday. Yeah, and I was like, that's crazy. And he's like, I know. He was like, but that's how it is. be, you know, fun to like, well, I worked in elementary school. I was gonna say work in a school, like as a school guidance counselor, but I worked like with like elementary school. Like I would love that. But I did it. I worked in an inner city elementary school. I did my practicum there for my master's program. And it was a great school, but there were a lot of problems, and we had to go do home visits, and it just wasn't pretty. And a lot of the environments that we went into were just really sad. And I mean, that's why that is like an area of social work that I just did not go into, because it just breaks my heart. A lot of these conditions that kids are raised in, you know, and the thing is that like, you can pass judgment as much as you want on like, I can't believe these parents are raising these kids this way, but a lot of it is systematic. You know, it's like a lot of these parents just, they've never had a chance to begin with, you know. They're rather uneducated, they can't hold a job, you know. It's just, they come from families that are uneducated and can't hold jobs, and, you know, it's just sad. And it's like at some point, like, who do you blame for that kind of stuff? You know, it's like, you know, I think it's interesting, like we used to discuss street prostitutes a lot when I was getting my master's degree. And like, you know, the attitude that as a social worker you're supposed to take with like a street prostitute is that you never try to take them off the streets, you meet them where they're at. So for example, if they're like, you know, heroin users, you work with them on like needle exchange programs, you help them get like, you know, birth control and condoms and regular STD, HIV testing, things like that. If they are hungry, you help them get food. If they need childcare for their children while they're working, you help them find childcare, affordable child, things like that. And I know that that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but the reality is like, a lot of those people don't really have a lot of other options. And I don't know, it's just a sad thing, you know? There's a lot of gratitude to be found from working in that field. There really is, you know, I mean, it's hard to not feel really blessed about your life when you constantly see people that have it 100 times worse than you do. Like, one of the things is like, when I worked in treatment, it was like, I was constantly grateful for my sobriety, because on a daily basis, I saw new people coming into treatment. And so with each passing year, I'd be like, oh my God, this is crazy. And like, one of the things was, you know, I worked for the treatment facility that I had gone through. And so I would see people that I had gone through treatment with. This is true statement. People that I went through treatment with as like co-patients, I would see them come through a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later. I mean, seriously, like, people that I went through treatment with were coming through the year that I left, you know, and I think, my God, 13 years of missed opportunities, 13 years of, like, a life that you've just thrown away, and, like, I don't know, and, you know, to think that they had the same opportunity that I did to get sober at that time, it just breaks my heart. And, you know, addiction is like one thing, because I think like when somebody's in active addiction and they've never been introduced to recovery, you know, it's really hard to say, well, like, I think they know better, or, you know, like, why, you know, they're making their choices. And that's true, but a lot of those people don't have alternatives to that, you know? Like, I mean, when I was out there using, before I was, like, really ever involved in a 12-step program or had gone through treatment, which was pretty young for me, like, I didn't know there was another option out there for me. I didn't know other teenagers that were actively working 12-step programs and staying sober. They're out there. They were out there. Very few when I got sober. I mean, I was kind of like a weird phenomenon at 22 getting sober. You know, now it's interesting because I meet a lot of people that are my age now that got sober when they were 22 or 23. So we were getting sober at the same time, but I just didn't know them. And a lot of them have moved here recently and stuff. But you know, I was just kind of an anomaly, you know. I mean, it was like me and like a bunch of 50-year-olds. This is kind of how meetings were, and I never really cared, honestly. But I think once you get introduced to sobriety or recovery, that's when to go back out as a choice, you know? And we want to talk about relapsing a lot and stuff like that. And like, relapse does not have to be a part of your recovery. It just doesn't. And, you know, I went through 5 treatment programs before I got sober. But the last one that I went through was really the first time that I ever got serious about working a 12-step program. So if you take it from that point of view, you know, I've had 23 plus years of continuous sobriety that I have, you know, never relapsed. So it doesn't have to be a part of that, you know? It doesn't have to be a part of recovery. When people are like, well, relapse is a part of recovery. No, it doesn't have to be. Like, I know people that, I know a lot, my mother never relapsed. And basically, I mean, she like would drive around some meetings, but when she came in and took her first, you know, coin and whatever, although, you know, what was interesting was like later after she passed away, I found a bunch of starter tokens of hers, but they must have been before she ever got sober, really sober, so I don't know. But you know, Tanya is a good example of that. Tanya went to treatment and came out and got sober and was going to a 12-step program, and she's never relapsed, you know? 22 years of sobriety, first treatment. So it doesn't have to be that. I don't look down on people that do relapse, you know, and I don't know what's best for them. You know, my old sponsor, I would say, oh, you know, like, oh, Judy relapsed, you know, I hope she makes it back in. And he would say, that's not your place to wish that. You don't know what God has planned for her. And I would say, well, what do you mean? Why would God not want her to be sober? And he goes, I don't know that God doesn't want Judy to go to prison and learn it that way, or find, you know, spirituality in a church and get sober in a church, or come back into a 12-step program. He's like, I'm not God, and I'm not going to act like God, and it's not my job to decide what's best for Judy. And there's a lot of truth to that. You know, I think a lot of times we think we know what's best for somebody when we don't. So I don't know, you know, I will tell you this. I've never in my entire life ever met a more loving place than a 12-step program for fucking up. If you fuck up and come back in, nobody's standing there going, well, you fucked up. They're like, we will love you until you love yourself. And, you know, I don't know, it's one of the most phenomenal things I've ever seen in my entire life, and to be part of it is just, to be part of love on that level is just phenomenal. Oh. You know, it's interesting in talking about like this whole social work thing today. I did a video on quitting your job. Well, actually, I got a comment on like my main channel video about it. That somebody was basically criticizing me, like saying not everybody can, you know, quit their job and go to something else, because I always talk about if you're not happy where you're at, go somewhere else, you know? And I kind of like, it stopped, like I would say I did not appreciate the way that it was presented to me, but that being said, it made me think about things. So, you know, anything that keeps you thinking and remains teachable, I think is a good moment. And I was thinking about it and I was like, you know, there's a lot of gratitude in the fact that I've always been in a position where, I mean, it was a real aha moment for me, right? Where, I mean, honest to God, I've never been in a position where I could just quit a job and walk away. Ain't nobody paying my bills. If I had walked away, I know people think, you know, that I've had a lot of help from family members and stuff, but that is just not the case. And if tomorrow I quit my job, there's nobody that's going to pay my bills. It just isn't, you know? And that's never been the case ever since I've been 22 and got sober. You know, I didn't have anybody that was willing to do that for me. Well, till 6 months after, when I was working full-time on my own. But I was thinking about that, and I was like, you know, for a lot of us, that really truly is a luxury. So when we sit there and we complain about our jobs and we say we don't want to be there anymore, and we have these discussions, and I do these Peterisms videos about here's what you should do if you want to leave your job, and think it through and plan ahead, and what do you want to do next, and, you know, give 2 weeks notice, which I meant to say and I didn't say, and, you know, like, don't quit your job until you have another one. And all of that is fine and well, like it really truly is. But but like even that decision is a luxury for a lot of people. You know, like not a lot of people are in a position where, you know, either they don't have the skill set or they don't have the education or nobody will hire them or there aren't jobs that'll hire them. And, you know, it really made me like kind of check myself when I got that comment. I was kind of like, damn, like, you know, Peter, like you need to really be grateful for the fact that you've always been in a position, you know, that if you wanted to like do something else, you could. Now that being said, okay, I worked for 20 years building people up to the point where they could realize, I mean, I think sometimes we forget that, you know, the movie Precious is based on a true story, you know, and called Push by Sapphire. And it's fantastic. And that, you know, I'm a real big believer in pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. I'm not real big on people complaining to me about, well, my life's so difficult. If you had my life, okay, a lot of people out there have a difficult life. A lot of people have had easier lives, okay? Some people are trust fund babies and some people aren't. I'm not. Am I jealous of my friends that are? Sometimes. I would be lying if I wasn't, you know? But there's also a gratitude that comes from busting your ass for everything that you do or have. And I'm proud of that, you know? And I think like, you know, I have a really close friend of mine and she is not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but she got a lot of common sense. And she didn't get good grades in high school, but she busted her ass working fast food all through high school. I mean, when we were going out, she was opening that Burger King lounge at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, okay? And she wasn't going out with her friends. And she worked and helped her mom pay rent all through high school. She went to college. She paid her way through college. She bought herself a car. She even bought herself a boat because she was a manager at Burger King all through college. And, I mean, she started working there when she was 15 or 16 years old, you know? And then by the time that she was done there, she was like managing 2 different stores, which was great for her resume. And then she got her degree, and I don't even know, I can't even remember what she got her degree in, but it sure as shit wasn't business. And now she is like the manager of like 4 or 5 banks. And she's making bank. And she loves her job, and she owns her own home, and she's, you know, been divorced, and is single, and is in the greatest shape of her entire life, and looks fantastic, is one of the happiest people that I know, and everything that she has, she made it on her own. Anybody can do that, okay? Now, do I think it's more difficult for some people than others? Absolutely. Do I think that some people that come from impoverished areas and low education have a harder time? Yes, absolutely. I totally believe that. But I do believe that with hard work and some, you know, motivation and a plan, you can get somewhere in life. I really do believe that. And I believe that, I do, I believe that, and I'm not going to back down from that statement. And I believe that people will help you along the way if you want to, you know? I can't tell you how many, I would say all young ladies, because that's all I can think of in my head right now, that I worked with back in the day that I thought, you know, they were products of crack mothers and really just some sad stuff, you know? And I thought, they are never gonna get out of this small ass town that they're in and whatever. And you know, flash forward 10 years, I get emails from them saying, you motivated me so much. I am now a drug counselor working for the Department of Corrections. I'm engaged, or I'm married, you know, or thank you so much, Peter. You guys helped me so much, and you made me realize that I could pass this on to somebody else, and now I'm doing, and you guys, like, that is the ultimate payoff, really, you know, like when you hear something like that. And I am so proud of these people. And you know, it's not even just to me about the ones that like are doing that kind of stuff. Just anybody that I feel like has the life that makes them happy today and survived that period of their life. Because I went to a lot of funerals and I went to a lot of court cases for people that got sentenced to long periods of time. And some of them, you know, I was thinking about this the other day, like 2 years before I resigned, I had a patient of mine that before he even came in was looking at like 25 years in prison. He was 18. He's still in prison, and I've been out of there. I've been gone from that place for 10 years, you know, and I thought, my God, that's so sad, you know, like, it's just so sad. And I don't know, like, I think the message that I want people to really get is anybody can accomplish their dreams on some level, you know? You have to be kind of somewhat realistic, but anybody can accomplish their dreams. I really believe that to some degree, you know? There's examples of it everywhere. Look around. Find a role model. Find somebody. It doesn't matter what age you are, you know? If you're 55 years old and you're like, I'm never going to be in the best shape of my life, or I'll never be an opera singer, or I'll never, you know, run a marathon. Find somebody that did it that's your age, you know? Relearn the ability to dream. And that's what I do. You know, a lot of times I'll Google authors who published first book at 40. You know what I mean? Like, I do that because I want to know, like, who's out there, who's done it. Like, and it's interesting when you do that stuff. Like, a couple years ago, I love Billy Letts, the author. She passed away a couple years ago. But she wrote some fantastic books. And she wrote the one that they made into that movie where the chick has the baby in the Walmart. James in America. Why can't I think? Where the Heart Is. She wrote that book. All her books are like that. She's fantastic. She wrote her first book at like 50. I was like, oh my God, well, I got a lot of time left. I can slow down. You know? Find a role model. We all need a role model, I think, you know? We all need somebody to inspire and motivate us. Well, all right, listen, you guys, I'm at 27 minutes. I have no idea how long this is going to be because I filmed the other 2 parts already, or 3 parts or whatever. So, yeah. Do you guys like me mixing it up throughout the day? Do you enjoy that? Do you not enjoy that? Let me know. I got Tanya on 2 days in a row. She probably won't be on here for a year now. Oh, by the way, everybody's saying something about the thumbnail yesterday. Today, when we were sitting on her front porch at her work, at her kennel, I showed it to her and I said, here's the thumbnail I'm going to use. And she started laughing. She's like, that's hilarious. So she approved the thumbnail from yesterday. So I wouldn't do that to Tanya. I wouldn't put her in a thumbnail that I thought she would get upset with. I don't do that kind of stuff to my friends. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Get ready because Memorial Day weekend is this weekend and it's going to be a blast. I'm probably going to be live streaming every night, like early evening to 10-ish, sometime in there, every Eastern Standard Time between now and the end of the month. And so come in and hang out and we'll have a good time. And I love you. Oh, by the way, if you want to join the book club and you haven't already, this Sunday we start She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb. It is an absolutely fantastic book. I read it 20 years ago and it profoundly impacted my life. I don't remember a whole lot about it. So I remember 2 things. I remember her dad at the beginning and I remember something about her acting like a whale in a pool. And those are the only 2 things I remember about it. So I'm so excited to read it again. Anyway, and that is on Sunday. The link for the book club is underneath all of my booktube videos, and it's also on Goodreads, Peter's book club. You can go check it out. It's also linked to my account over there, so I accept everybody's friend request on Goodreads. It's just, I love Goodreads so much. So anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.